Hello everyone. In this video I'll talk about the topic of collections in Java. So let's see first of all the definition here. Collections in Java is a framework. Framework means the architecture which provides ready-made classes and interfaces to perform some task. Okay, that is the framework. So collections in Java is a framework which provides architecture, ready-made architecture to store and manipulate group of objects. Okay, this is what is collections in Java. For example, normally the operations performed by the user using an application are these: searching, sorting, insertion, manipulation or deletion of data, etc. Okay, all these operations can be easily performed by the Java collections, because Java collections provide us the inbuilt classes and interfaces to perform all those tasks. Okay, so in short, I can say that Java collection simply means single unit of objects to store and manipulate the data. Okay, there are many the Java collection framework provides many interfaces and classes. Like you will see that I have a list, queue, doubly-ended queue, which is called the queue, array list, you're already familiar with that, vector, linked list, priority queue, hash set, preset, and so on. So there are many things inside the Java collections with the help of which you can store and manipulate the data. So overall it's sort of a data structure. Okay, sort of data structure in Java. So in the collection framework of Java, I'll be discussing only 4 or 5 classes with the help of which you can store and manipulate your elements or your data. But first of all, let's look at the hierarchy of Java collection framework, hierarchy of classes and interfaces. The root of the collection framework is this: collection. Okay, right now I'm showing you the names of interfaces, abstract classes, and classes. Means how they are inheriting each other. Okay, so collection is the root of the name collection. That's an interface. Okay, first of all, focus on this particular line. Everything residing in this particular line, okay, in this particular block, is interface. So collection is an interface. That's a name. This collection interface is being inherited by 3 more interfaces, which is set, list, and queue. Okay, after that the set is being inherited by sorted set interface. Sorted set interface is further inherited by navigable set interface. So if we look down, queue interface is being inherited by doubly-ended queue. Okay, so you don't need to remember all these things. At least you should remember this one, this particular portion. There is a root interface called collection interface, from where the Java collection framework begins. Okay, this is inherited by 3 other interfaces, which is set, this one, list, this one, and the queue, this one. So obviously as these are the interfaces, we cannot make the object of them, and we cannot manipulate the data by making their object, because the object cannot be made. So definitely we have to see some class which are inheriting these interfaces and implementing the functionality of these interfaces. Okay, so let's proceed further in this section. In the second section, you can see from here till here, these are the abstract classes. See, in this particular diagram, not all the classes and interfaces have been listed. Only few of them have been listed just for the demonstration purpose. The abstract collection, that's an abstract class. Okay, that is inheriting directly the collection interface. Okay, and implementing the methods inside it. Okay, this thing is being inherited by abstract set and abstract list. Abstract list is further inherited by this class, abstract sequential list. Okay, so we don't we actually don't care about the names of these abstract classes because we are not going to use them. So I just wanted to show you the interfaces are being inherited by abstract classes. So these abstract classes are further inherited by the third section, this one, the concrete classes. Okay, not all of them are listed here, so I'll just show you this tree set. Okay, tree set, you can see it's directly inheriting the navigable set interface. Then we have hash set class, then we have vector class is further inherited by stack, then we have array list, then we have linked list, then we have priority queue. So in this particular diagram, so you can see which class is inheriting which particular class or interface from this particular diagram. Okay, so by just looking at this particular hierarchy, I'll be only implementing some of the classes here. I'll be making the objects of some of these classes. First one is this tree set. Then I'll talk about the array list. Okay, you're already familiar with that, but just a brief introduction I'll give. Okay, then I'll talk about doubly-ended queue also. Okay, you can see that that's an interface that its object cannot be directly made, so I'll make use of linked list to implement the doubly-ended queue. Okay, so you'll see later on. And there is one more concept called hash map, which is not listed here. So hash map is nothing, this is the thing which you have already studied in data structures, if you have done that, like how to store the data using their hash value, compute the hash value of that particular thing and store it at a particular place. So that is hash map, which is what is called in the Java. So let's first of all talk about the tree set. Okay, as from the name you can guess, tree set uses a tree data structure to store the elements, to store and manipulate the data inside it. Okay, so this hierarchy, again you can see how the tree set is actually inherited. The collection framework, the collection interface is inherited by set is inherited by sorted set, that is inherited by navigable set, and after that there is a class tree set which implements overall, you can say, the set interface. Okay, so first of all let's see the definition here. The tree set provides the implementation of the set interface, okay, and uses a tree structure for storing the data. Okay, first of all I'm just going to talk about the properties of the tree set, and then I'll show you the actual program, how to implement it. So first of all you need to know the properties of tree set. So objects, see, the first very important property, objects are stored in sorted ascending order in tree set. So whenever you're going to add some objects inside the tree set, okay, they are by default going to be in sorted order. So you don't have to sort yourself, they are by default will be sorted at the back end. Okay, so there is some functionality going on which will sort all these objects. So the three main important points about tree set are: it contains unique elements, okay, like hash set. Okay, we'll talk about that later, actually the hash map. It contains unique elements. Access and retrieval time is quite fast if we compare it with array or array list. Access time is fast, and it maintains the elements in ascending order by default. So these are the three main properties. From this behavior I can guess, if you are aware about the data structure concepts, then tree set is actually at the back end might be implemented by the binary search tree. Okay, because binary search tree also possesses the same properties which are being shown here. Okay, but I'm not sure, but the properties suggest this thing. This thing at the back end tree set might be implemented with the help of binary search tree concept. That's why it is exhibiting all the properties of binary search tree, if you remember. Then let's move further. All elements, this is again an important point, all elements inserted into the tree set must implement the comparable interface. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Okay, now what is comparable interface? Right now you can just remember the name here. means the first thing you have to remember that primitive data types cannot be added into the collections, means in the tree set. Okay, as you cannot add primitive data types in array list, similarly you cannot add primitive values or data inside the tree set also. So definitely you have to make some class, you have to make the objects of that class and insert it inside the tree set, and that class objects which you are going to add inside the tree set must implement this comparable interface, otherwise you will not be able to add those class objects inside the tree set. Okay, so that is what this line means, this particular line. Okay, string class and wrapper classes. I hope you know wrapper classes: integer class, float class, double class, and so on. String class and wrapper classes are comparable by default, meaning that they are already implementing the comparable interface at the back end. So you don't need to worry if you want to add integer class objects or float class objects or string class objects inside the tree set. They can be automatically added. Okay, but if you want to make your own class, let's say the person class, circle class, then that class must implement the comparable interface. Only then its objects could be added into the tree set. We'll look at into the example of this also. Key, what if I want to add my own custom class into the tree set, and then we will see how I have to implement the comparable interface. Okay, then the next point is, okay, this is I've already discussed. If you are building your own class, you have to implement it by that must inherit the comparable interface. And after that there are 4 constructors of the tree set: empty constructor, parameterized constructor, which in which one of the parameterized constructor says, okay, give me the collection object. One of the collection object I remember is array list. Okay, you can say that give me the array list elements, I'll automatically sort it. Okay, if you have the array list with you or any other collection object with you, give me in the constructor, I'll automatically add all the elements inside the tree and will sort it. So this is what is meaning of the this second constructor. Third constructor says that okay, you can give me the comparison logic also using the comparator interface. Okay, so comparison logic can be given in 2 ways. Either you implement the comparison logic using the comparable interface, or you implement the comparison logic with the comparator interface. Okay, so we'll talk about this comparator later on also, but right now you may not be able to understand, okay, what is comparator. So just for your knowledge, so remember that you'll get to know when I talk about the comparator and comparable interface together. Okay, so these are the constructors of tree set. Now let's proceed with the example program. Before proceeding with the example program, let me show you some inbuilt methods inside the tree set. Add all method, contains method, okay, is empty method, remove method if I want to remove something, if I want to add something, okay, add all if I want to add some collection of elements, add if I want to add some single object, clear if I want to clear the all the elements inside the tree set, clone if I just want to duplicate the tree set, first means if I want to fetch the first element of the tree in the sorted order, which is the first element, and in the sorted order which is the last element inside the tree set, and how many elements are there in the tree set, that is calculated by size. Okay, so these are some of the methods. Some of these methods you might have already seen with the array list also. Okay, so let's see the example here. First of all, you need to import the util package, because util package contains the tree set class. So this is how you make, just like the array list, you make the object of array list and give a type. Similarly, you make the tree set. I want to store string objects inside it. So tree set of type string, tree is equal to new tree set of type string, similar as you create the array list. Okay, no problem. And if you want to add the elements one by one, so use this add So I'm adding Kings 11, RCB, CSK, and you see that I'm adding RCB again, duplicate elements. No error in this, no runtime error, no compile time error, but it will not be added at the runtime. The duplicate elements will not be added at the runtime, so you'll see the output. Okay, so the Java will just ignore this duplicate element and it won't add. And then I'm adding sunrisers. Okay, so I've added a considerable amount of objects inside the tree set, so let's print them. Okay, so first of all you need to understand I can provide the iterator to navigate the elements of tree set. So iterator is nothing but the, you can say, a sort of a pointer which navigate the elements of the tree. Okay, so let's understand this particular thing, tree, which I'm referring to this object here, tree. So most of the collection classes, one of them is tree set class, most of the classes have the inbuilt method called iterator, and iterator this returns a pointer to a particular object in that collection. Okay, so just for the demonstration, assume that the tree set have already arranged the elements in sorted order, and if I use tree.iterator, then the pointer will be set at the first element. You can see like this. Okay, sort of a pointer, you can understand, otherwise pointers actually do not exist in Java, so this is just for the understanding. So pointer is sort of is associated with the first object. Okay, and it just okay, let me rectify my point here. Pointer itr, when I say tree.iterator, that sets the pointer itr. This is the itr I'm talking about, itr. This sets the pointer initially at the null position. Okay, it doesn't stand at the first position of the object. Okay, so then see what logic I'm making here. While itr.hasNext, okay, hasNext method, you have seen this method in the scanner class also in my previous video where I gave you the demonstration. So it says that, okay, itr, is there any next element to be read? This is what this line means. itr.hasNext, is there any other element to be read inside the collection? Okay, if the answer is true, the while loop goes. Then when I say itr.next, so this next element will point this iterator pointer to the first element now. Okay, so when I say next, the pointer moves to the next object. When the while loop again goes, does itr has next element to be read? Yes. Then this iterator pointer goes to the next element. After that, in next loop, it goes to the next element. Okay, and so on. So iterator just behaves like a pointer. So whenever I say next, okay, only then it will point to the next element. Okay, so hasNext will be used to check, does it have any element to be read, next element. So next function is used to point to the next element, and just by saying tree.iterator, initially the iterator pointer will be set to null, so it doesn't stand at the first object. Okay, so remember this fact. Okay, let's see the demonstration. I have already coded some of the lines for you, which you have already seen in the slide. So let me implement the iterator for you. So how to implement it? Iterator of type string, because I'm dealing with a tree set of type string. Okay, so iterator should be of same type. Let's call it itr is equal to, so what I'm saying is tree, this is the object I'm using here, tree dot iterator. So what I'm saying is, okay, the tree object return me the iterator pointer which I want to store inside this reference variable. So return me the iterator. Okay, so it returns the iterator. Okay, and after that I'll write the logic. While itr dot hasNext, is there any next element to be read? If yes, then what you do is system.out.println itr.next, fetch that next element. So initially the itr is not pointing to the first element, it is sort of pointing to maybe null position. I'm not pretty sure, so I'm just assuming it might be standing at the null position, means the position which is just before the first element, that I'm considering it as a null. Okay, so just previous to the first element it is standing the ITR. So when I say ITR.next, so it will point to the first element and print it. So it will keep on going until all the elements are printed. So let's see the execution. You see all the elements got printed. Okay, CSK, Kings 11, RCB, and you also saw that the duplicate elements were not added here. Okay, and let's see, if I do not add any element inside it, then definitely the logic is not going to work. I mean, nothing will be printed. And if I do not use the while loop, okay, let's comment the while loop here, and without a while loop, if I use itr.next, so this will give me a runtime error because there is no element to be read further, no such element exception. So this is an exception. That's why I checked first, is there any next element to be read or not, only then add the element. So this is how you understand it. Further, you can also implement your you can also print your tree set using a for each loop. Okay, so I hope you remember the for each loop. On the right hand side comes the collection object, on the left hand side the type of object which will be held by okay, one by one the element will be transferred to obj, and that obj will be I'll use that obj. Okay, so let's comment the iterator part. Okay, and let's see, for each loop prints me the same thing or not. Yeah, it prints me the same thing. So either you can use for each loop to print the tree set, or you can use iterator to print your elements. But did you notice that the elements are by default sorted according to the dictionary, and this is the property of tree set. So by dictionary they are being sorted, right? And last, let's see, what if I just make it small k, and let's see what is the output. See, now it is printed at the last. Okay, because the according to the ASCII values, or you can say Unicode values, the capitalized letters come first and the small letters come afterwards. So accordingly the elements were sorted. Okay, and now let's look at the last example here, where I have used other than methods other than the add method. So you can see I have added some elements here. Add method, we've already seen that. So see how the logic I'm making. If obj dot contains srh, okay, so here I have inserted not, so this logic becomes obj dot contains srh. If obj does not contains srh, so this is what the logic makes, then add the srh also. Okay, this is how I made the logic and demonstrated how to use the contains. The contains is used to find whether the element is there or not inside the set. Next is empty. Is the tree set empty or not? So in this case it will return false. So after that you can directly print obj object, this also. So by default the sorted elements will be printed because it will call its toString method, which will print all the objects inside the tree set in ascending order. So in this way also you can print the tree set without using the iterator or without using the for each loop, but sometimes they are helpful. If I want to remove an element, what should I say? Remove that particular element name. If that particular element does not exist, then nothing will happen. And then what I'm doing is print the first element which comes in the sorted order, which I've added here. Okay, print the last element which is in sorted order of these elements. Print the size. What is the size of? Means how many elements are there inside the tree set, okay, at this particular point. And then this logic you have already seen that. Using the iterator also I can print all the elements, and I'm using the clear method just to erase all the objects from the tree set. Okay, and now when I say obj dot is empty, then this time it will return true. Okay, so I have used some of the methods which I showed you previously inside that table. Okay, so you can make your own logic. So that's about the tree set. In the next video I'll help you know how to make your own class and how to make the objects of that class embed inside the tree set. Means, let's say you want to make the person class. The person class object cannot be directly added into the tree set unless you inherit the comparable interface. The string class and the wrapper classes are by default inheriting the comparable interface. Okay, so that's why there is no error here. They are already providing the comparison logic to compare these elements. That is why they are being sorted automatically. Okay, but okay, we'll see the details in the next video.